Some weeks ago, a mysterious island appeared. What secrets does it hold? What mysteries reside there? Will there be snacks? Today, we're going to get into everything we know so far about Low-Key Key Island. You've seen the billboards around Grappital City, we have some insights, but what is Low-Key Key Island really going to be? And what do we actually know so far? Just from looking at it from the boat, you can tell it's a bit smaller island than the one we've been playing on, even though it is a little bit further away. When I was originally thinking about what the smaller island might entail for Rumbleverse, I was thinking about what other battle royales have done. The first thing that came to mind was a respawn mode, and considering what we already know about Lava Dome from the billboards, which we'll talk more about later, it seemed like this might be a very likely scenario for Rumbleverse. But, and I'm glad I waited to make this video, in the last update from Iron Galaxy, we got some huge clues. The huge clue was this. If you scan the waterline from the deck of the battle barge, you might catch a glimpse at a whole new island on a collision course for Grappital City. Now this didn't occur to me from the beginning because the barge is in the way, the island hasn't been getting any bigger, it doesn't look like it's actually coming for Grappital City itself. If we take a closer look at Grappital City, you might have noticed all these incomplete bridges in the game. If that phrase collision course wasn't already hint enough, this most recent Iron Journal also included a link to a YouTube video. Shout out to the whole bakery on YouTube for making this video and sharing that they use spectator mode to get a closer look at the new island. I went into spectator mode myself to see if there's anything I might notice on top of all the other research I've already been doing. And when we look at the island, even from afar, even in its low poly, low res version, and I noticed this kind of green point sticking out. I think what we're seeing here are the connection points for this new island. But because of that phrase collision course, we're not getting a separate smaller island, we're getting one giant island. And this leads to even more possibilities than what I think any of us even thought. It's like I said, I originally thought of a kind of respawn mode.
Welcome to the Gulag!
Obviously with the lava dome there, it opens up just a standalone arena mode, a deathmatch if you will. And that was all well and good, but I think increasing the size of the island possibly means we could be getting something that a lot of people have been asking for, 3 and 4 player modes. Now some of this video is going to be a little bit speculation, some of it I feel like is just me connecting the dots, and some of it is just me Sherlocking my way into something I can almost guarantee we're going to see in Season 2. Can I guarantee that we see 3 and 4 player mode, trios and squads in Season 2? I can't, but this does seem to make it a lot more likely. I think we'd see changes to the circle and the circle progression, as well as being able to actually strike your teammates. Speaking of Lava Dome, I pointed it out all the way back in the mid-season update.
Dodge.
Low-key key Lava Dome.
Just like the ground one used to.
Wait, is that
me? Go ahead, Keenan.
We've done known about Lava Dome, so I've been interested in this for a while, but I wanted to get as much research and hopefully facts together before I put an actual video out. So while we have multiple Low-Key Key branded billboards, we only have this one actually mentioning a specific DOI. Lava Dome has a very sports arena kind of vibe to it, both in the look and the name. What do you get when you mix arenas and fighting games? Deathmatch? With Lava Dome looking like it has real size to it, opens up a huge possibility for multiple different kinds of game modes or standalone types or things that, like we were mentioning, work into the Battle Royale mode itself. Think tag team duos or even 4v4 brawls. If we don't get trios and squads in the Battle Royale mode, maybe we see something like rival gangs in the Lava Dome arena. And if they do choose to remove, the chaos of the city in the Battle Royale mode from this arena aspect, they have a ton of possibilities, like I mentioned, in multiple games to kind of pull inspiration from, whether it be a classic like Power Stone or fan favorite like Super Smash Brothers. What else can we learn from this specific Lava Dome billboard though? Because if you look at the characters in the bottom left, there's a lot more here than just a new point of interest. Well, I don't think we'll be riding inside the tram car itself, like it kind of looks like that one guy is doing there. I do think it's going to be revolving around the map. One of the biggest things we can't see on the island right now, since it's so low res, are where the train tracks are going. They're not on this version of the map at all right now. But we can see the tram goes up to Lava Dome. It looks like there's going to be another track that runs a little wider, but it does look like the tram's going to make its way around Low-Key Key Island. But I think we're seeing two things with the characters here. One, some of the outfits we're going to see in the battle pass, Looks like a tourist outfit, life vest, striped t-shirt, but that striped t-shirt guy is holding an ice cream cone. If we look at the girl who's swinging, she looks like she's wearing an ice cream parlor outfit. We'll get back to the swinging in a second. Speaking of characters holding things, the character on top of the tram is holding a green water bottle looking object. So I think besides potential battle pass or in-store items, we're seeing 3 other things here. 2 new items and 1 new type of movement. I've heard other people say that they think that this shows that swinging is going to come into the game. Obviously that opens up multiple kinds of attacks, depending on how it works. Maybe new way to get around, but it'll be interesting to see how they implement that and how well it works. The ice cream cone itself and the ice cream parlor outfit get even more interesting when we take a closer look at the island as we can currently see it. That lighthouse looking object is a giant ice cream cone. Along with Squat's chicken and Moosel shakes, we're going to get another item that you can get from probably little stands. There's already Squat's trucks, so why not ice cream trucks? And definitely the giant ice cream cone itself. What will the ice cream do? I have no idea. I wish I knew what the ice cream was going to do. Comment down below if you have any ideas of what ice cream should do in the game or what you would like to see it do. The green water bottle, on the other hand, what is green in this game? It's always health related. Something that restores a different amount of health from Squat's chicken. Does it work differently maybe? Maybe like the stamina regeneration, or does it give you a health regeneration perk? The devs mentioned new ways to combat meditative and other healing perks. So could we see them introduce items that give perks themselves or act similarly? We'll have to find out. If we take a closer look at Lava Dome, it looks like an arena. I saw somebody else mention the top looking like it was red and had lava in it. I don't think that's the case. I think you can see here, it looks like Lava Dome is written over the entrance. I think that's the same color that we have on top of the dome itself, but it does look like it's on a dormant volcano because of the waterfall coming through it. However, if it's not dormant, could we see a situation where lava surrounds a ring on the inside, or a situation where we start to see fire damage introduced? If we expand on that, things like fire attacks, punches, kicks, fireballs themselves are no stranger in fighting games. It does seem likely that if the volcano is active at all, you might get burned. You can see some little buildings and other things on the left side. Looks like maybe a kind of boat town, beachside town. I hadn't actually connected this yet, but in the Lava Dome billboard, you can see a kind of building fading into the background. It's actually what's on the left side of Lokiki Island. It is very hard to tell what that is right now. It looks kind of square, looks a little bit like a monument. We don't have a ton of clues or info on that side of the island, sadly. To move on from the Lava Dome billboard, next up we have the Let Yourself Go billboard. There's not a ton of info in this billboard, but there are 2 interesting points. We see this tourist looking outfit again. We see all these fries scattered about. I'm thinking this is yet another consumable, bucket of fries. We've seen similar things on some of the Squat's billboards that haven't been put in the game yet, but bucket of fries brings to mind things like carb loading. However, he is knocked out on the bench. So maybe we're going to see something like meat sweats, where if you carb overload, you gotta like lay down and take a nap or something real quick. That would be a huge disadvantage. So maybe it's some kind of huge buff and then maybe a guaranteed rest period. What do you think a bucket of fries might do for your character in Rumbleverse? Moving on to our next billboard, we have the Come Live the Good Life Lokiki billboard. There's a few interesting things in this one. We can see the tram zooming on by, which I actually just realized looks like it's probably the backside of the volcano, the part that we can't really see right now with spectator mode. But we have all of these beach houses. We have a golf cart, and coolers on the beach. Coolers, could we loot them? Golf cart, you drive it? Really hoping we get to drive golf carts, but I won't hold my breath. Probably definitely gonna be able to bounce off the top of that surfboard. In the distance, we can see a beachside, it looks like a restaurant, or maybe something connected to a resort kind of deal. A couple giant surfboards sticking up out of the ground. Sadly, there's no visible text on that sign though. We can see some stairs going up the side of the mountain there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we had some kind of cave system that went through this side, similar to the underground area of the suburbs on the north of the map now. And here again, we have that Lokiki logo. Nothing is crazy interesting about this to me, besides the fact that the O looks kind of like a rune or an eyeball. It seems like there's something there that I just cannot figure out or pinpoint what it is. There's also a giant kite in the background, which doesn't seem connected to or mean anything, but the kite does seem big enough to where maybe it is important. or will be important. There's one more billboard that I can't quite decide if it's connected to Lokiki or not. That's because the real life place of Waikiki kind of has some similarities to Lokiki, but there's another billboard around town that's actually torn up so you can't tell what it says, but it says Slam Juan. San Juan itself, those two places in real life don't have much connection, but on the billboard, Slam Juan looks like it's a resort on a beach. While every single one of these billboards is torn up, you can see "Go to San Juan" on the marquee down in the business district. So since it's ripped up, does that mean this resort is no longer open? Is it a thing of the past? Is this actually a part of Lokiki? Or is this going to be something in the future? I think with all these billboards floating around, this probably is a part of the new island. I originally thought maybe this resort was on the side of the island we couldn't see. It was hard to figure out where it would kind of fit in, and this not showing the big ice cream thing or the other building for that matter on the other side. But since these billboards all look old, like maybe this is an old picture, maybe the resort doesn't look the same, or this is just before those other parts got put onto the map. We also see a dumbbell on the beach here, which is one of the last remaining weapons from the vending machines that we don't have in the game yet. I actually think that's a barbell, but maybe we see both. And while it seems kind of weird to combine inspiration from both of these very separate places, maybe Slam Juan was what Lokiki used to be. Maybe Lokiki is just a rebrand, or it's still possible that Slam Juan is going to be another island we see in the future, or that collides with the main island. One billboard that's a little weird is the oiled up billboard. I've seen people talk about the giant leaf pictured in there being a possible new weapon. I don't know about that. I also originally thought that this was not necessarily a billboard for Lokiki, but a billboard for Oiled Up, which is a business that you can see around town. It looks like she has a tub of sugar and it almost looks more like a pancake, and that looks like a giant skillet. So I mean, oil could be a crazy addition to the game, make you immune to grabs or something like that. I don't know. This one is probably the most confusing billboard. It's really hard to tell if it has any connection to any of the new stuff. So I'm not betting any money on this billboard. It does say "Sweet Relaxation, well done." You know, obviously we can see some palm trees there. On second look, I'm not sure that that is the Oiled Up logo. This could be something in connection with the resort. Leaf just seems like a weird weapon to me. Although if you can blow your opponents off of super tall buildings or into the surrounding water, could be pretty powerful. It is an interesting and weird one. Definitely check it out. Let me know what you think. So we've gone over all the billboards. Let's talk island layout and what we can really expect there. Actually drew this very crude version of the new island before I even knew we could get up close with spectator mode. I drew this just off of what we could see from the boat. I originally thought, after looking at all the billboards, that we have this kind of tower POI on the right side, and some kind of tower on the left, smaller structure. And obviously the tram is circling around, and we have Lava Dome smack in the middle. I originally thought Slam Juan Resort was going to be closer towards the ice cream lighthouse, if you will, but I now think that that's probably on this side, and we have that the beach and probably some kind of cave, because the whole area on the side we can't see seems very tight. So I think that we can go under there, and then there's also the beach side. That resort, if that's what it is actually on this side. That green mat, it's really hard to tell what that is, but I do think that's what's going to connect on the main part, the highway, or line up somewhere in that area, and then we're going to get connections on those lower areas, those bridges that we showed earlier. So what would I bet my money on being in season 2? What am I most confident in? The things I'm most confident in, I think we get 2 or 3 new consumables with the ice cream cone, the green water bottle, and the French fries. Tourist outfit and ice cream parlor outfit in the battle pass, and tourist might be level 1. It is hard to tell what the story is with Slam Juan and Lokiki, but I do think there's going to be some kind of hotel area. This is like a beach town. There's going to be that kind of seaside resort. We have that one restaurant looking area on the pier, or maybe that's like a surf shop on the beachside billboard. I think there's definitely a little town there by the lighthouse. The lighthouse is an ice cream cone, guaranteed. You're gonna be able to get the ice cream there, and I would not be surprised to see ice cream trucks and or stands scattered around that part of the island. As for Lava Dome, I can't guarantee what it is or what it's for. I've seen people mention a gulag scenario. Is it going to be its own thing? Is it going to be, are we going to see tag teams, group battles, what have you? I don't know, but I am really interested to find out. The other thing I really want to know is there lava in there? Is that the ring out scenario that we get when we do battle in the Lava Dome? And if we're going to see lava and people can get burned, are we going to see fire attacks get introduced in the game? I know somebody mentioned a fire breath attack as another part of the Mist family. I think that would be a great addition. And like I said, you know, fire punches, kicks, fireballs themselves are all things we've seen in all kinds of fighting games. While I do think there's going to be some sort of pathway on that far side of that island, I'm interested if is there some kind of network of caves underneath Lava Dome. Is there going to be lava down there? And then the tram, of course, is going to be rotating around Lava Dome. It's not exactly clear what kind of path it's going to take, but there is that dead stop at Lava Dome, and it definitely looks like it is moving around the volcano itself. That's all the stuff that I'm really confident in. All of this is connected to Low-Key Key and the billboards, which they've already confirmed is coming in Season 2. Are there clues in the other billboards of different items and things we might see? It's hard to say. I feel like all the Low-Key Key stuff is stuff that we're more likely to get first. Nacho buckets, barbell, dumbbell, weapon, things like that. Other moves, we don't really have any guarantee of. It just seems like stuff that's likely to come to the game. You know, more poison moves, potentially fire moves, things like that. There's such a focus on Lava Dome, it's definitely going to have some sort of impact on as far as gameplay goes, whether it be a standalone separate mode or whether it gets rolled into the battle royale itself. That's just really hard to pinpoint at this point. And do we see trios and squads released at the beginning of second season? I'm not sure. The devs are gonna make those decisions based on the player base, because if you don't have enough people interested in trios and squads, and then the people that do split off and try to go play that, take away from the main game, can become a little disjointed. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. If we get some kind of arena brawler with your choice of moves from vending machines, or throwing all the weapons in there, I think that could be a crazy fun mode. We'll see if that's what we get with Lava Dome. Bringing from light posts or other objects seems like it's making it into the game since its inclusion in that billboard, but we'll see how that plays out and how it affects battles themselves. I think the biggest surprises in store for us are what's on that north side of the map that we can't really make out or see right now. Why is the O and Low-Key Key look like that? What is it? Is it an eyeball? Is it a gateway? Does it connect to the key bat? Are Low-Key Key and Slam 1 just building the lore? I want more lore. I want more Rumbleverse lore. And what other new weapons might we get? Can we shake down palm trees for leaf-like weapons? Blow people right into the ocean? No. But we've gone over all the billboards, we've connected some dots. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on what we might see in Season 2. I'm very excited to see the new map in all of its glory, and we don't have that long to wait now. It's just over a week away. Let me know what you want to see on the new island, or which of my theories excites you the most. Let me know if you want to see more deep dives on kind of the billboards and maybe the secrets and maybe the leaks of things coming to the game, if that's something you guys are interested in. Hope you enjoyed this deep dive on the new island, and I'll see you at Billboard. Next season, I'll see you at Ice Cream Cone. I've got no mustache.